Hey everyone, Tyson the Subaru Specialist from Subaru Prince George here. And today, I'm going to be giving you a walkthrough of this 2024 Subaru Outback Onyx in the Cosmic Blue. Now this is a rather dark blue. I don't think the camera's doing it justice. I actually prefer it to the previous Abyss Blue you could get on the older Outbacks. I think it's a sharp looking color. Onyx is a trim level above the Touring, but I would say it's below the Limited and below the Wilderness. So it's kind of a mid-level up trim. You get some aesthetics that are different on the outside. 24s have the same facelift as the 23s, so a larger grille. You've got those black metallic wings off of the logos on either side. Forward-facing fog lights as opposed to the vertical LEDs they used to have slightly further over to the left and right. And we get this nice C-cut channel, that kind of faux vent adds to that aggressive front end on the Outback. Smaller, more angularly styled LED steering responsive headlights. You do have high beam assist, and we've got these bulges on the headlight. It's part of the diffuser, so you're not blinding people, because these headlights are awesome. Night driving with the Outback is phenomenal. You get exclusive 18-inch black painted alloy wheels on the Onyx, and that is the same on all of the colors of the Onyx. It's not different if you get a green one or a white one. Get that cladding around the wheel well, or call it fender flares, whatever you want to call it. And you'll notice all the cladding is in high wear areas. So areas of the car where you typically can get beat up by rocks, sticks if you go off the beaten path, high wear areas. You've got Outback on the rear door at the bottom. And of course, 8.7 inches of minimum ground clearance, as you'd expect out of a Subaru. And of course, full-time symmetrical all-wheel drive. Same all-wheel drive system as in all of the automatic Outbacks. That rear three-quarter view. I know people say it's a station wagon. It's not quite a station wagon, but I understand the station wagon-ish. At the back, fuel doors, rear passenger side, and it's tied to your driver door. If your driver door is unlocked, the pin retracts out of that hole and you can access it. If I click lock on the key fob, it locks. Unlock, it's unlocked. So it's tied to the driver door, running regular, unleaded, 87. You can run premium if you'd like. Not necessarily gonna see a benefit out of that. At the back, in the rear bumper, you do get backup sensors, and they will apply the brakes if it thinks you're gonna hit something in reverse between speeds of 1 and 15 kilometers an hour. You can disable that if you don't like it. I'm a huge fan of it. It's terrifying when it works, but it's great. Look at that rear end on it. Good looking rear end on the Outback. The Onyx, you do get the blacked out badging on either side. You get a bumper step pad from factory. So that's designed to reduce the chance of marking up your bumper, loading things in and out, or if you've got dogs. You can get this as an accessory for the other ones. It just comes standard with the Onyx. You have a proximity tailgate, so the keys on my person block the logo, it beeps, and it opens up. I can also open it up from the door, from the key fob, or from the driver's seat. And you've got very tall, wide, and deep storage in the back of the Outback. Cargo tray is standard equipment. It does have a little bit of a lip on it to help contain any spills or liquids that may come out of your cargo. Got a nice two-stage privacy cover. And what I mean by two-stage is that's not a lot of load height. If you've got a tall box, you somehow have to retract that while balancing it on the bumper, setting it down. With this, all you do, push, and it retracts. Way more load height. So that's the idea. It kind of pairs with that proximity tailgate, which I'm a huge fan of. And it's easy to put back. It is removable. You just click that button and lift up. And then this second portion here behind the bar, that's adjustable. And the reason is those seats are reclinable. If this silver portion was all the way back, you couldn't recline it because that's a fixed position. We have grocery bag hooks on either side. In addition to nice hard mount tie downs on either side, you've got 4 on each side. Now this, I get asked about this, what's this in some of my videos? That's the front license plate bracket. So we don't pre-install it. Some people don't want to run with a front plate here in BC, and we have no problem not drilling into a brand new bumper. We got the upgraded Harman Kardon audio system in the Onyx. Little storage cubby on the right-hand side, along with a 12-volt power point. Now, underneath here is where you can store that privacy cover. You can kind of see where it's supposed to lay across there, and these side pieces do come up as well. We've got this really cool hook here, which will actually come in handy for this. So if you're ever changing a spare tire, your spare tire on, or you're grabbing something that you've got hidden, holds it up. It's great. Tires under there. It is a temporary tear, spare tire. This is the hardest part of this, is putting it back one-handed. But very, very handy. I get asked, what is that a lot of the time? Lots of people don't know they have that. So it is nice to be able to show people that. And then if I need to fold down the seats, increase my storage, it's just from these handles. Now, a little bit of a first world problem. I have to walk up to the second row to put them back up. That right-hand side one, that 60%, didn't go down flat because that front seat is reclined a little bit more. So that is something that you need to be aware of when you're folding those seats flat. LED cargo light, which I can shut off. That'll shut off when I close the hatch. I can pull down on the handle to close it. I can close it, I can close and lock it. I can close it from the driver's seat, or I can close it from the third button down on the key fob. This locks everything, closes it. I'm gonna get an audible and I'm gonna get a visual. And the benefit to that is I don't have to pull my keys out of my pocket, or I don't have to walk up to one of the front doors to lock it. Now, let's confirm that I actually locked it. It is a proximity key, so keys in my pocket. When I put my hand in this handle, it's gonna unlock. The hazards are gonna flash. So that's how you're gonna be able to tell it actually was locked. There you go. Click unlock. Second row. As you can see, very, very flat here. Easy to put up. And essentially, if I can see red, that means it's not locked, because I can also fold them down from here. Yeah, I can see the headrest was contacting the back of the seat there. If that was a little less reclined, it would have gone down all the way, but easy to put up. There's a fold down armrest out of the center seat there. Great if there's only one or two passengers. And in my opinion, the real value in the Onyx is in this seating material. This is StarTex. So this is soft touch, all weather upholstery, Subaru made product. 20% recycled plastic, rest is synthetic, non-perforated, kind of like a neoprene. It's very, very comfortable, easy to maintain, easy to wipe down. That's the idea, is it's easy to clean. You find a similar material with a different pattern in the Wilderness models. So this is the original StarTex that they came out with in 2020. And they've of course improved it over time. To recline these seats, you pull up on that and you lean back on the seat. And it is kind of hard to do one-handed, but you can see it just came up there. It does go back a little bit. It's not like you're sitting in a lazy boy recliner flat, but it does go a decent amount. And we do have easy access to the latch system, the lower anchors and tethers for children, for car seats. Out of the center console, the rear outer two seats are heated with high and low settings. Keep everyone nice and toasty on those longer trips. And those USBs will keep you connected on those longer trips. Just for charging, not for listening to music through. Vents out of the center console, in addition to the vents underneath each front seat, facing rearward. Helps heat and cool the second row very, very effectively. We get the high wall rubber floor mats with the Onyx, and on the back of both front seats, we have 3 map back pockets. Now, this is textured and is designed to be a step if you're loading something onto the roof rack. So these have rails with tie downs integrated front and rear, and these bars are built in. Simply flip them across. The other side comes across, locks in the corresponding hole. So you have crossbars when you need them. You can hide them away, tuck them away when you don't need them. So you get the best of both worlds with the Outback. I'm a huge fan of them. I love the functionality of the Outback, and that's a big selling point for me. That's part of the reason I own an Outback. Down here, I get asked about that all the time. That is what this little silver bar, which is an extra side impact safety bar, locks into. And that's designed to reduce the chance of intrusion into the passenger cab in the event of a side collision. So Subaru's all about safety. That's just a very apparent one that people ask about. Soft touch materials for the door card and the armrest. Even the rear window is an auto rear window. Kind of rare to find in vehicles today, the second row being auto. There's a little bit of storage down there with a bottle holder and child locks. Keep your kids or grandkids or drunk friends from escaping. Now, as I'd mentioned previously, this is a proximity key. So to lock it, I've got these lines. And again, so long as the key's within 46 inches. Hand back in and it unlocks. Front door card looks very, very similar to that of the rear. Soft touch materials, all 4 auto power window controls. We do have a window lock switch, power mirror adjustment, and then there's a little bit more storage along with the bottle holder there. And of course, they take every opportunity to tell you it's a Harman Kardon system. I also get asked, why do we leave this? Well, take a look at your own doors at home. Sometimes I would say that this part of your door at home, unless you're exceptionally careful and mindful of it, gets kicked getting in and out. That's the only reason why. Driver's seat is power, including lumbar, and it's the same seating material for the front driver and passenger seat as it is in the second row, the StarTex with the green contrast stitching. And these headrests are adjustable, in addition to being able to move up and down, but they're tiltable depending how close to the back of your head you like your headrest. By the driver's left knee, we have the ability to open the rear hatch. It's a press and hold. As soon as it starts moving, you can take your hand off that, and I can close it the same way. I've got a scroll wheel for the brightness of the gauges, and I can turn off that proximity sensor for the rear hatch. So if you're loading something on the roof of the Outback at the back and you're getting too close, sometimes it'll open, you can disable that. We do also get the aluminum pedal covers with the rubber grippies. Again, high wall mats. Let's hop in. And it is push button start. Foot on the brake, light goes green, green means go. We've got LEDs up there, in addition to blind spot detection on either side mirror. So where it illuminated orange there, that's what it will look like when someone is in your blind spot or going to be in your blind spot on the corresponding side. It's a great aid. It's not a replacement for shoulder checking. If they're on the driver's side, the driver's side's illuminating. If they're coming up on the passenger side, the passenger side's illuminating. So like I was saying, you can still shoulder check, or should still shoulder check. And I find the visibility in the Outback amazing. I think the visibility is great. Of course, that's subjective, depends how you like to sit, height, all that. And then of course, the LEDs up there, part of the EyeSight system, they all have different indications as to what they mean. I will put the link to the video that goes over that in the video description. On the steering wheel, it is leather wrapped, green contrast stitching. Bottom right, we have our heated steering wheel, and it's a whole heated wheel with the exception of right here, dead spot here because that's where the heating elements come out. Right hand side, we have our adaptive cruise and our lane centering. Now both of those use these three black boxes, those color stereo EyeSight cameras, to look for cyclists, road lines, pedestrians, and other vehicles. These are also responsible for automatic emergency braking, pre-collision throttle management, all the safety stuff. So it's a pretty cool system that Subaru's got going there. Now I've turned on the adaptive cruise, and you can see there's an image of the Outback there. There's 4 bars ahead of it, all the way down to 1. The bars are the follow distance behind the vehicle ahead of you that you will follow at if you catch up while using cruise control. 100 kilometers an hour, 4 bars, comes out to about 150 to 180 feet behind the vehicle ahead of you. As they slow down, you'll slow down, get a little closer, but still maintain the maximum distance. If I want to follow closer, every time I press this button, the bars go down. I can also turn this to traditional cruise. I simply press and hold, and you'll notice there's no bars, and we go to the traditional cruise control icon. To turn it back, I simply press and hold that same button. There we go. Lane centering. Little steering wheel icon pops up there. Above 60 kilometers an hour, if the cameras can see road lines on either side, it'll illuminate those gray lines white, same color as those distance markers on the corresponding side, whether that's left, right, or both. And then it'll give you gentle steering input to keep you centered. It's not something that's going to rip the wheel out of your hand and turn, but it's a nice aid. You're not fighting the steering all the time. You're not wandering in your lane. I recommend that you go in, see a salesperson, have them demonstrate it for you. Obviously can't do it in the winter, but it's pretty cool to see how it works. Left-hand side, we've got Bluetooth controls, voice controls. You can accept and decline calls. Volume is left to right toggle. This changes our small little display screen above the image of the Outback. Gives you different information depending what you want to look at. You kind of double up on a bunch of things in Subaru. It depends where you want to look at it and see it. Source switches from AM to FM to USB, etc. Switch between your presets. We do have paddle shifters, downshift and upshift, so we can manually select our own gears, even with the automatic CVT. Steering wheel adjustment, bottom left of the steering column. Pull down, and I've got tilt and telescopic. So depending how you like to sit, you can adjust it. We have our 11.6-inch touchscreen. We get dual function X mode in the Onyx, which is like 4x4 low. Onyx is the first trim level where we get deep snow and mud, which is an extra function to X mode. You can only engage it while going 20 kilometers an hour or less, and it only works up to 40 kilometers an hour. You can see we have the little rough terrain icon down there, downhill descent control, and when I switch it, it tells you what mode you're in. Deep snow mud. Deep snow mud also turns off traction control to let you chew yourself out of the situation you've got yourself stuck in. We've got weather, part of your satellite radio trial. We've got widgets, gauges, and I can change those around. Choose the one you want. You are limited. It'd be nice if there was a few more options in there, but maybe we'll get those in the future. What you're listening to, main portion of the screen, radio, media, and phone, fairly self-explanatory. Under apps, we have wireless Android Auto, wireless CarPlay. You'll gain access to the My Subaru app after the vehicle's registered in your name. Settings, there's a bunch of stuff you can change. You've got general sound, phone, radio, car, lots of things you can change and play with. You can't wreck anything by playing with the settings, which is nice. I always tell my clients I can help you change pretty much anything over the phone except for the language. I'd have to hop in another one and tell you what button to hit. Car info, you can set maintenance reminders, you can see the angle you're sitting at, you can turn off the display. There's a second page. You can add additional shortcuts if you want. If there's somewhere in the settings you go often. We've got volume, we've got tuning knobs. Home button, the open envelope, the little Monopoly house always takes you to the main screen. We have the ability to turn off the auto start stop if you don't like that. Turn on AVH, the click of a button, which is a brake holder for construction, drive-through, or rush hour traffic. And if I go into the little car, it gives me vehicle control, driving assistance. You can change it to miles per hour in the digital speedo. Lots of things you can kind of customize to make yours. Easy way to hook up phones for Bluetooth. And you can have 5 devices in total hooked up. And you can set driver profiles if you want. Bottom portion, climate controls. Heated seats, 3 stages for both the driver and passenger. And it's cooking right now. It was very, very hot on level 3. We do still have physical buttons for temperature. Goes up and down in 0.5 degree increments. Or we simply click, brings it up. We can click, we can sync it, we can drag. We can control where we want our airflow, if we want AC on, max AC, recirc, if we want it to set it to full auto and let it do its own thing, which we're not going to do. Big fan strength buttons there. Hard to miss. And then if I don't touch the screen for a second, that screen will disappear. So I don't have to worry about pressing that X while I'm driving. I've got front defrost, I have heated mirrors, back window, and windshield wiper deicers. So where the windshield wipers sit on the windshield is heated. When I put it in reverse, backup camera pops up, rear assist braking's on, parking sensors are on. You can see the top of the bumper there. You have something to relate to backing up. And I can also clean the backup camera just by twisting this towards myself. It's the best thing ever. Below that, we've got 2 USBs, an auxiliary, and a wireless charger. Park brake. Foot on the brake and push down to deactivate it. And then we do have automatic CVT with manual mode. And I was telling you, you can manually select your own gears here, upshift and downshift as you'd like. Really deep cup holders. You do get a drink raiser, one, with it. So the idea is if you have a small drink, medium drink, if you put it on the side without it, you're going to be grabbing by the lid, potentially spilling it. That helps raise it because these cup holders are exceptionally deep. Nice soft touch armrest. There is a 12-volt power point in there. There's a place to run cords out of. And we do also have change tray, card tray, and it is kind of rubberized to try to stop things from sliding around. I'm glad it's not a hard plastic. Up top, auto dimming rear view mirror, no switch to flick if someone's got their brights on behind you. It's fantastic. It's my favorite feature in any vehicle. We do also have an integrated compass, and if you have garage doors, you get the HomeLink system. So you can hook up to 3 separate garage doors to your mirror. You don't have to carry a bulky visor or opener with you, or opener on your visor, or wherever you may have it. On the passenger side, we do have a little storage cubby there. We don't have that on the driver's side. I've asked, I imagine it's to do with how the transmission and electronics are laid out. That's why you don't get it on this side. Up top, sunglass storage. We get SOS and roadside assistance buttons. That's part of your 3-year trial to the My Subaru connected services you get with most new Subarus. We've got our sunroof controls, and we have our map lights here. It is a regular sized sunroof. Tilt and slide. We've got card holders on both sun visors. Vanity light with mirror, and I can actually slide this entire sunshade, sun visor, so if the sun's directly at my left or right, I can adjust for that. Now, I didn't show you guys or tell you guys what's under the hood in the Onyx. It is the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder boxer engine that Subaru has in the majority of their product. 182 horsepower at the moment. Very good efficiency out of this. And that's what it looks like. Pretty standard in Subaru's world. And all of the stuff that's marked in yellow is what the average consumer is going to touch during their lifetime of ownership, unless they're mechanically inclined or a mechanic themselves. We have our oil dipstick, we have our oil filler, Oil filters right up top, coolant overflow, washer fluid reservoir. The battery is easy to access, which is nice. And we also have our brake fluid. It's not marked in yellow, but you do also have easy access to your air filter. And for closing it, I just like to drop it. I don't like to put my hand on it and push down. I feel like I'm going to break it or dent it. That's probably not the case. However, I don't like that feeling. So I'll give you guys another quick 360-degree walk around of the 2024 Outback Onyx in the cosmic blue. One step above the Touring. I think that this offers a little bit better value than the Touring with what you get in it. I see a lot of value in the seating material, as do a lot of my clients. We typically sell a lot more Onyxes than Tourings. Not that the Tourings aren't good, it's just that the seating material is a big thing. People with kids, grandkids, who are outdoorsy, have pets. It's good for that sort of thing. So thank you for sticking with me through my quick walkthrough of the 2024 Subaru Outback Onyx in the cosmic blue. I'm Tyson, the Subaru specialist from Subaru Prince George. If you guys are in British Columbia or close to BC, willing to make the trip, please reach out to me. I'd love to help you find your perfect Subaru. If you guys have any questions about this vehicle, any of the tech in it, or anything about the Subaru lineup in general, put it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Thanks for watching. We'll talk soon.